Hi, my name is Scott Solomon. I'm a teaching professor in the Department of Biosciences here at Rice, and I teach classes in introductory biology and ecology and evolutionary biology. BIOS 213, or the Introductory Lab course in Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, is one of the first courses that our students take when they're learning how to actually do science. So we have lecture courses and we have separate labs. And in this particular lab, the students are learning how to ask and answer questions in the fields of ecology and evolutionary biology. One of the things that involves is going outside, out into the field and collecting data and then learning how to analyze those data. In BIOS 213, we take a field trip every semester to Brazos Bend State Park. That's this amazing place that's just about an hour away from campus. And one of the things that's fantastic about it is we have access to some amazing natural places. So we see a remnant of the Texas coastal prairie, which is actually one of the most endangered habitats in all of North America. And then right across the street, we have a nice section of bottomland forest. And then a little further, we go and we have some amazing wetlands. And so it's amazing for our students to have access to these environments and to be able to go quickly between them, learn about the kinds of things that live there, and practice acting like ecologists and collecting data. So in this lab, what our students are doing is basically comparing the prairie with the forest. And we're trying to understand why it is that we have a prairie in one place and a forest just right across the street. We know that there aren't any major differences in the temperature or the amount of rain that falls. So why is there a prairie here and a forest just right across the way? Well, our students are helping to answer that question by collecting data about the physical environment in the prairie and the forest. So they're using a soil probe to measure the soil temperature, to measure the soil pH, to measure the soil moisture, and then they're comparing that in both of these environments to see, are there differences? And then they're also collecting a small sample of leaf litter in each of these places, and we are looking for what kinds of small invertebrate animals live in each of these ecosystems. So the students actually will go through with a microscope and they will learn how to identify different groups of organisms, whether it's a snail or a spider or an ant. And then they will collect data on how many individuals of each type of species we found in each place. And they're learning how to quantify the biological diversity of these two places so that they can better understand them. So one of the things that's great about our undergraduate program here in ecology and evolutionary biology is that all of our students have access to doing this kind of field research, whether it's doing some field research right here on campus with one of our classes, going with a class to a nearby ecosystem like Brazos Bend State Park, going further away with a class to Belize or Tanzania, or whether it's working with one of our faculty members on an independent research project. So my advice is, if you're somebody who's interested in potentially getting involved with this kind of research, is to start with taking one of these classes. And then if this seems like it's the kind of thing that you're interested in, talk to one of the faculty about whether there might be opportunities to continue working in field research through some kind of an independent research project. But one of the things I always like to tell students is that we here in Houston live in an amazing place when it comes to biology and biodiversity. We have access to some incredible natural places, and even right here on our campus, we have incredible living diversity between our trees that are part of the Lynn R. Lowry Arboretum, the many species of insects that we can find right here on our campus, or the more than 300 species of birds that pass through here as part of the annual migration. So if you're somebody that likes biology, natural history, biodiversity, then Houston is a truly remarkable place to get to come and learn how to be a scientist.